travel, and shipment?
Yeah, I'll warn you right now, I don't do yes or no answers.
Yeah,
So
well, I only have 5 minutes. I know when you were the senator, you know about this business.
I never did yes or no answers.
And I know you're trying to go out so that you can run out my 5 minutes. That's a simple question.
I'm not run out your 5 minutes. You're running out your 5 minutes.
Did you?
I don't do yes or no question. You want to ask me a question? I'll answer your question.
You answer my question. It's my time. Did you?
Yo, I love covering stories on Don Marco Rubio, United States Secretary of State, Trumpito's most loyal avenger, and president of both Ghana and Venezuela, amongst other important responsibilities for the families. Forget about it. Watch this freaking fat goalie, Gregory Meeks, Democrat Senator Gregory Meeks, this freaking pagan. He tries to ambush as usual with 5 minute presentation of malarkey. But forget about it. Marco Rubio calmly dismantles him by hitting them with something that these Democrats just don't seem to have, and that's facts and common sense. Make sure you tap that like and subscribe button. Let's get right to the video.
Answer my questions quickly because clearly the chairman wants to protect you. That's why he's cutting me off my opening statement. But Secretary,
you had 5 minutes.
Yeah. Secretary, you have the honor of serving both the acting National Security Advisor and Secretary of State. In these roles, you've played a central role in advising the president as commander-in-chief to launch a war against Iran, and the impacts of this choice have been significant on our allies and partners who immediately have targeted by retaliatory strikes, as well as for Americans here at home. 3 months into this war, gas and food prices are up, inflation is rising, American business owners and farmers are struggling from higher shipping and commodity costs, and yet the president said 2 weeks ago, and I quote, "I don't think about Americans' financial situation." That's a quote that should alarm every American. Americans are also rightfully concerned that while they struggle with affordability due to the war in Iran, the President of the United States is busy day trading on it. He disclosed purchases of stocks in energy and defense companies in the first quarter of this year that were made just as those companies' profits were soaring from the war in Iran. On March 23rd, the same day he reversed his threat to strike Iranian energy, infrastructure, and energy stocks rose. He bought stocks then in Phillips 66, Exxon, and Chevron.
I did not think of
Secretary, I have a few questions, and again, given the amount of time that I have, I will ask you to give me yes and no answers. Did you warn President Trump before the war in Iran began that this conflict would drive up costs on gas, food, travel, and shipment?
Yeah, I'll warn you right now, I don't do yes or no answers.
Yeah,
so
I only have 5 minutes. I know when you were the senator, you know about this business.
I never did yes or no answers.
And I know you're trying to go out so that you can run out my 5 minutes. That's a simple question.
I'm not run out your 5 minutes. You're running out your 5 minutes.
Did you?
I don't do yes or no question. You want to ask me a question? I'll answer your question.
You answer my question. It's my time. Did you?
Did I what?
Yes or no? Did you warn President Trump before the Iran war began that this conflict would drive up costs on gas, food, travel, and shipment?
The president,
yes or no?
The president and the full administration was aware that there would be consequences to action, but the consequences of Iran having a nuclear weapon were worse.
Did you warn him that launching a war in Iran could result in the regime placing a chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz?
All the risk factors were understood, but the most important risk factor was Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
Did you warn him? If you did warn him, say yes. It's simple.
Everyone was aware of what Iran might do in retaliation.
I'm asking you a second.
Everyone was aware.
Don't want to answer that. Let me ask you the next question.
But the worst part is
that did you warn the president that launching U.S. strikes against Iran would result in retaliatory attacks on U.S. allies, partners, and Americans living or working in the Middle East?
Everyone understood what Iran would do in response.
Did you warn them?
We were prepared for any response that they came out with.
Okay.
We knew it.
Just want to make sure.
But they can't have a nuclear
weapon. So
you're
saying you warned them? Did you warn the president that the personal stock purchases and companies profiting from the war that he launched could present a conflict of interest?
I'm not aware of the president's stock purchases. I don't deal with that, and I don't even know what you're saying is true.
Well, we know that because it is made public what his stock purchases were.
You say so. I don't read the president's financial disclosure, but I don't believe that to be true.
Well, I think then the president should be more transparent. Secretary Rubio, because these are basic questions that I'm asking you, and to be transparent with the American people. This is what this is all about, the transparency. So, for example, when you go and look at some of your statements that you made in regards to Cuba, I only have 58 seconds left, and I'd love to get it, but you talked about Gaisa, who was controlling the military and what's taking place there, and that they had the opportunity to benefit while the Cuban people are suffering. So what we're seeing here now, the one person that's benefited from this war by his purchase of stocks, him and his friends, they have made billions of dollars.
What is he talking about?
While the American people are suffering. You've accused, and I agree, with reference to some folks, what they're doing in Cuba and how they're making money while people suffer. That's what's taking place in the United States of America. The Trump administration and his friends are making billions of dollars while the American people suffer. And they continue to suffer.
Breaks my heart, but ranking member's time has expired. Representative McCall is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me thank you for your service. Secretary, I know you're wearing a lot of hats, a lot of responsibilities. I think you're doing an outstanding job. Let me just say, since 1979, a dark veil of terror descended upon the Middle East, and we've had it ever since. And every president since that time has said that a nuclear Iran is not acceptable. And every Congress has said that. In fact, last Congress, when I was chairman of this committee, I passed a resolution that said that a nuclear Iran was unacceptable and that the U.S. must use any means necessary to prevent them from obtaining a nuclear weapon. The vast majority of Democrats voted for this. Almost all Republicans. It passed the House floor, a resolution stating that that is not acceptable. We've had a lot of talk in these Congresses and prior administrations, a lot of talk, but we haven't had a whole lot of action.
I think that sentiment pretty much sums it up. These Democrats do a lot of talking, but they're not used to somebody that's that goes straight into action. And we all know the Orange Man. The Orange Man is all about that action. First off, praise God that they only had 5 minutes to do this presentation because Representative Democrat Senator Gregory Meeks is annoying. I feel like his voice is just annoying. I don't know if he thinks he's some type of preacher or something, but he doesn't really sound like Al Sharpton or Martin Luther King to me. I feel like he practiced. He probably rehearsed them little 5 minutes, the first part of the 5 minutes, like with his wife or his kids or something. And, of course, they were supportive, like, yeah, Dad, you're doing great. But Greg, you didn't do great. And you can tell when you went off script, when you stopped reading, it was horrible. And your question was, did Secretary of State Marco Rubio warn Donald Trump that prices will go up on gas and food and etc.? And he was like, forget about it. We knew all of the consequences. I like people who use the word consequences in their like normal jargon. He's like, we know the consequences. But the bottom line is Iran cannot have nuclear weapons. Now, do I agree with this war? No, I don't. Of course, I do not agree with no wars. But like I've been saying since day one, Iran, we heard that you guys were building nukes and having, yellow cake uranium. And my thing is, why would you ever dare mess with uranium? Iran, don't do it. There won't be a such place as Iran if you guys keep fooling around. I don't know. Just wait a couple years until after the orange guy is out of office. Maybe they might pull the rainbow flag back up in the United States. But till then, just leave the uranium alone, Iran, for Christ's sakes. For real. That's my show. Make sure you tap that like and subscribe button. Tell me what you think in the comments. Until next time, peace.